Hello there, Dr. C.K. Narayan here from Neo Trader. And in this video, I thought I will do some discussion about ICICI Bank results. Given you the ending point here where I said ICICI Bank results, I think will push the prices up to 1050. It's currently trading around 900. So that means a pretty decent. What happens is when quarterly results, they often throw up some good opportunities for advances or large declines. I think ICICI Bank is at one such position right now, and therefore that is why I'm making a video on it. So let's take a look at the salient facts on the Q4 results. Now, street beating numbers, that is the first thing. Whatever people had expected, I think expectation was already good. If you looked at the the prequels about the results, the previews rather, all of them were looking for a decent kind of growth, and the bank's results have beaten it almost on every parameter, right? Net operating profits are up nicely. Net operating level, that's up about 500 crores or so about 5 odd percent. Provisions have reduced. I think that's one of the key things which is adding to the gains. The provisions for the bad loans etc. are down nearly by about 600 crores. So about 1100-1200 crores has is the extra amount available. Growth is seen in every segment of the business except I think treasury operations, which was flat. There has been a growth in every segment. In every segment of the bank's business, there has been a bit of a growth. Bank is really concentrated on accumulating FD receipts. Now, perhaps they need money for this tier 1 capital, etc. And sometimes it is felt that this FD receipts may be more expensive. But if you look at the loan book advances, etc., they have managed to keep it on even keel so that whatever extra interest they are paying out, they are able to receive that from the loan and advances. So there is net less of an impact. But if interest rates go down, the loan rates don't go down as quickly, right? Whereas these rates could be changed also. So there is a strong increase in FD receipts. I think one of the things which might be a little bit of a misgiving in the results is that the dividends were around 8 rupees. I think the street was definitely looking for a little higher dividend, maybe 10, maybe 11, 12. Right, so the payout is a little on the lower side, but they'll have their own explanations. I think one of the most critical things is loan growth is at 22%, and that's very impressive because they already have a large book. And when you do 22% on a large book, that is certainly very, very impressive. So, like I said, on every parameter, ICICI Bank results were a beat, right? And now if you come to the technical side, you look at the chart. The chart doesn't show any great build-up, okay? There is a little bit of increase in the volumes here as the market rallied. The stock rallied to about 78% retracement or near about that. And on Friday, the prices actually went down. So there has been profit taking ahead of the results. So people have not chosen to carry it forward beyond Friday. Maybe they were not too sure whether the results could live up to the expectations that were already built up on it. So there was profit taking ahead of the results. And so like I said, 78.6 large volume market clearly was not anticipating anything substantive from the results. So this is one of the key points that one must remember, because sentiment towards the stock in and around results decides to a great extent how the prices shall move. So if you look at the Fibonacci chart, and here I've used the 30-minute chart intraday and some oscillators also. Here too I find that there has been a lot of profit taking, and in fact on a 30-minute chart this is like a downtrend on the Fibonacci chart. So here too there was some downtrend. So profit taking has clearly occurred in ICICI Bank of the long positions that had been built up ahead of the results, and this reveals a slightly nervous mindset, and perhaps I don't know if short positions have been taken. It doesn't look like short positions are taken because the overall price damage is not much and the uptrend status is still maintained. So I don't think shorts have come in, but definitely longs have been trimmed. If I look at the derivative picture also, that is also not showing me that anything substantial has been built. This is the volumes, no great shakes in derivative volumes in the futures, etc. If you take the OI buildup shows a slight upward tilt, but then that seems to be more of a short buildup or a mix of long and short buildup. And like I said earlier, the long positions look to have been shed. And if you look at the cash delivery, right, that is at the bottom, and the cash delivery is also not showing you any, seeing anything substantive. You see here, there is no major increase in the delivery status. So no advance play. That is the point I'm making. This is a very small increase. So here nothing major. This is all largely flat. So I think ICICI Bank did not really have any build-up even on the derivative side. Now here is the crux. The results would therefore have been a surprise for the market. Now how much of a surprise? Not too much, because 20-22% growth was being built in already. So not too much of a surprise, but in the context of no build-up or long positions have been given up, the surprise element will kick in. That the market was not expecting a big, anything substantial in the result. That is why there is no build-up on the charts. This is what I just explained to you, or on the futures option segments. Now here is the crux. When markets are caught by surprise, they move much more than normal. And I think that is what is going to happen in ICICI Bank, and that is why that's the reason behind this video. So I am expecting some large movements in the stock in the coming weeks and months. Now fundamental re-rating of targets will definitely happen in this, right? I think looking at the results and looking at the way that street expectations have been beaten, you have to remember that ICICI Bank is one of the very widely covered stock. I think almost some 40, 50 or even more analyst coverage. So everybody will have a re-rating of the target, which I expect would be in the region of even as much as 20 to 25%. So that means you are going to see this. So you must be checking for these upgrades in the coming days. I think that is one of the things everybody should check for, because the commentary was good, everything will be good. I think a lot of re-rating will happen, and targets of a higher nature on fundamental basis across a 1 year time frame will be made in ICICI Bank. So now if I look at the relative performance, so we looked at ICICI results and what was the build-up, etc. Here I am looking at the relative performance of all the major private sector banks. Also, I think State Bank is there. So the various banks I have in here are ICICI, and they're all compared with ICICI. So I got HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, Kotak Bank, I got AU Small Finance, and I got State Bank of India. Now what you can see is that the relative performance of everything is bunched up tightly in and around the same place, right? So many times this indicates to us that from a valuation perspective, the market is judging every one of them a little similarly. Now we can even go and see that if you look at it, HDFC Bank, which is like a standard for the market, that's trading about 20 times. ICICI Bank is a little cheaper at 18 times. But if you come down and look at AU Small, then which also came out with some decent numbers, that was at about 32.9%. That is 32.9 times. That is where it is trading. Kotak Mahindra is also trading at around 26 times. And the cheapest around here is Axis Bank. So now what is the point? If you looked at the relative performance of all the stocks bunched up around the same levels, but you are seeing that they are at different valuations here, my expectation is that money is going to come out of AU Small Bank, go here. HDFC Bank is in the middle of all this merger business, so people will not get into it right now. They'll allow all this merger stuff to get away, and then they will take a relook at HDFC Bank. So I believe some money from flow will from HDFC Bank into ICICI Bank also. Kotak relatively is higher price, so I think some money will flow into ICICI Bank from Kotak also. See, because the market relative valuation is so tightly packed, I think what will happen is not major new buying, but there will be a lot of switchover buying, which itself is good enough because that will ensure that ICICI Bank will be having constant buying pressure, right? So this is what I get. Now, if I look at Neo Trader and then I look at something interesting, ICICI Bank yearly negative, okay, monthly just recently it has gone up, but weekly change negative, daily change negative. Again, it is not at all moved very much in the context of a trend, because even at the higher levels, the yearly change to date, Jan to April, is still a negative, right? Now, if I look at some scores, we make some candlestick scores, Ichimoku scores, etc. Now you will find that candlestick intraday is bearish, Ichimoku intraday is bearish, and then you have mild scores for bull on multi-day, and also here mild scores for bull on multi-day, and therefore the stock has not really been bought into either, because these scores will track the stock's movement from a much closer perspective, and that is why these scores have been designed in Neo Trader. And if you look at the pivots where it is, and ICICI Bank, if you look at a pivot here, 890, 895, and somewhere here around 899. So these are all neutral areas for ICICI Bank for today and for the days ahead. So I think this should be the lower end. So you could probably keep 890 as a kind of a lower end for this thing. Immediate supports on the higher side, if you look at it, there is 909 and 908, and that looks like an immediate target, and the stock has already hit that in today's trading, and then it is hesitating thereabouts. If you, what you're getting is 926 to 930 as the next set of targets. In all this collectively, the highest target it is showing us is about 950 and 970. I think those are all the immediately achievable targets, but given the kind of results, I think we should be seeing something substantially higher. Now I put it on the charts also, and I've used Fibonacci ratio targets, and there when I use 2-point contrary and one 3-point advance, etc., I am getting a confluence here of a 1.618 and a 0.618 projection that lies between 1000 rupees to 1050, 1040. So I think ultimately this is going to be the target for ICICI Bank in the near future. Now the current price is around 900, right? It's somewhere around 900 levels. So if you project that 150 rupees from there, then you're really getting nearly about 17-18% kind of return. This will not happen in the matter of days. So this is not a day trading recommendation. This is a position you can create in the May futures and take it as the next month's futures trade. So ICICI Bank is what I like for May futures, and that's what I wanted to explain through various parameters. Thank you for joining me in this video. If you liked it, share it, like it, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon so that you will know about more such videos when we make them. Thank you once again. Dr. C.K. Narayan signing off. Until we meet again, goodbye.